Hello again, welcome to another Corona vlog, I think I called it last time. No makeup this time, I'm just going to show you something else because over the past week I saw a news report that people were putting teddy bears in the windows and windowsills for kids to go on a bear hunt because of course there are a lot of kids at home right now that have nothing to do or at least get bored around the house. And then the parents can take them around the neighborhood and look at all the windows and see if they can find a bear. And so people have put a lot of stuffed animals in their windows, but there are people who don't have stuffed animals lying around the house. And the one that I have, that I initially put in my window, was a little bit too light colored. And of course I live on the second floor, so kids probably don't look up as much as they should to see my bear sitting there. And also my I guess my blinds, I guess you would call it, are like a creamy white color, and the color of the bear was just a little bit darker but difficult to see. So I thought, you know what, for the people who don't have any bears or are like me who have bears that are the same color as their curtains or whatever, so they don't actually show up much, you could try crafting your own bear. And I thought I would just quickly demonstrate that while I talk about the week, because of course we've had another week of sitting inside for the most part. I'm taking apart a box here because we're going to need some cardboard for this, and I'm going to take a large panel that is mostly white, as you can see. I think I'll take this one over here, so I'll cut that out in a bit so we can start working on that in a bit. But first let me talk about the week itself. As I said, I've been home another week like many other people, and working from home obviously Monday to Friday. Nothing much special happened there. See, the only thing was that thing that stood out, I guess, was the whole bear thing. That was the most important thing that happened. I did have another case of people coming too close, and some people just either don't care or don't are not aware of the distance between them and another person. It's like I've always had this thing with being very much aware how people around me are very much not aware of the people around them, so to speak. Like whenever I'm in the grocery store, even before all this, I would notice how few times people would actually notice that you're there and give you space to do your thing while they're doing their thing. And that's not really changed much with the whole corona situation. I've been to the grocery store again, of course. I go once a week, and it was the same thing. You had to grab a cart. Of course, this time I was aware that we had to do that, so that was all fine. But we still had people just blocking the aisles or chatting to each other in the middle of an aisle, like they're not actually looking at any of the grocery stuff. They're just standing there talking to each other, and they're like blocking the entire place for other people. Like, you know that it's a difficult situation right now, right? Like, we're trying to shop here and we're trying to avoid coming into contact, but no, we're just going to stand here and talk to the neighbor because we haven't seen him for a while. I understand that you want to talk to your neighbor, but to go talk to them somewhere where there's more space around you and people don't have to wait until they can go into the aisle and grab some eggs or something. I don't know, that's another thing. So yeah, and yesterday I was walking the dog, and this guy, I'm guessing he was like an adolescent, came riding right past me on his bicycle, and it was just like this much space. It wasn't even trying to like distance himself at all, but I'm guessing that they're in that category of rambunctious teens / adolescents where they don't really care about social distancing or anybody else for that matter. They just want to go do their thing and not be bothered by anybody else's being upset about potentially getting ill or whatever. I don't know. There's always this group of people that just doesn't care. They have them everywhere, and I've heard reports that there are groups of such people also taking the trains, because the trains, of course, have less people actually looking into whether you have a valid ticket or not. I just noticed that I don't even have my light on. Let me just fix that. Is that better? I don't know. Either way, I have this whole ring light set around my camera, and if I don't use it, then I'm just staring at this ring and it's not actually being used. Okay, fine. So now we have a little more light in the situation. Let's cast some light on the situation of this past week. What happened yesterday? Of course, we usually have, or some people usually have, a Friday afternoon drink session at work. And of course, since nobody's at the office, they couldn't do that. So instead, they organized it via Teams, like an online chat thing where you can also do video calls, etc. And so yesterday we had our very first Teams Friday afternoon meeting. And normally I would not be able to join in these meetings because I'm usually already gone by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and these meetings start at about 4, so I'll be long home and preparing myself for the Minecraft stream by the time that they're over there cracking open the beer. But this time I was able to join in for at least for a while until the network gave out because there was just too many people trying to get on, I guess, I don't know. And of course I had to go stream on my Minecraft server, or not my Minecraft server, but the Minecraft server. So that was also very convenient that I didn't have network for a second, but it was a fun like gathering. It's like you got all these people that have their phones out or their laptops, and sound and audio quality or video quality is not great. So you see a couple of people flickering in and out of the screen, and you hear some vague music sounding things in the background as somebody was trying to do a DJ thing in the background, and occasionally you get your own music, of course. It's a bit chaotic, but also kind of funny because we also had, of course, the team session open in the background, and we were able to post pictures to each other. And of course, I'm sending memes back and forth with this other guy who also likes to send memes. I'm gonna touch my face because I feel like there's a hair here. And of course, I haven't washed my hands since I went outside and haven't left the house since, so I should be okay touching my face right now. Okay. So that was the Teams meeting. I'm pretty sure we're going to have that again because even though it was chaotic and you couldn't hear what people were saying half the time, it was like a little moment where you could like gather and just have a bit of social interaction which you normally wouldn't have, and I'm pretty sure we're going to do that again as long as this situation continues. So that's that. I was thinking about something else this week because there are a lot of people who are like more used to going outside and doing fun things and meeting other people, etc., that are now sitting at home being extremely bored watching another Netflix show or YouTube videos, etc. I'm guilty of that as well because I watch a lot of YouTube anyway. But I was thinking, like, now when you're supposed to be social distancing and not really going outside much unless you need to go like walk your dog or get some groceries, now's a good time to try out things that you normally wouldn't be able to do because you have to go to work on Monday. Like, I'm thinking try a different hair color. Like, if you always wanted to have like acid green hair, maybe now's a good time to try that out because nobody at work is going to see it. And you could always dye it back to your normal color if you do suddenly have to go somewhere else. But in the meantime, you can just try something fun. You can, like last time I was sitting here doing my makeup, you could do something like that as well. Nobody's going to see that unless you live with somebody else, of course, obviously. But you could just try all sorts of crazy colors that you're not used to. You could try different types of clothing that you're not used to. Wear something else for a change that you normally wouldn't wear. As you can see, I'm wearing very comfortable stuff right now. I always do that when I'm at home, but now I get to wear those 24/7 pretty much, except of course when I'm sleeping. But you know, just do whatever you normally wouldn't be able to do because you have to go outside and meet with people who might have some type of opinion about that. So now's the excellent time to do that. Okay, so on to this. I had brown cardboard for the bear that I put in my window the other day, yesterday, but I only have white cardboard left because basically what I'm doing, or what you could do, is look through all your paper waste and boards or boxes that you may have gotten for something else, like you may have ordered something that came in a box. Just grab whatever cardboard you got, and then I'm going to draw an outline of a bear on here. Of course, this is white cardboard, so it's going to be difficult to see. I'll use a marker for that because normally I would use like a pen, like a regular ballpoint pen. But since the light is shining on a very white piece of cardboard, I'll use a marker instead. Just a regular whiteboard marker. It doesn't have to be great. Oh, I'll draw on the back so I can cut it out. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to draw on the back here so that this side stays nice and clean. And then we'll draw the bear over here, and of course it's small, so I have to kind of adjust the size of it. It doesn't have to be perfect, obviously. It's more for the kids, so they have like something to look for, and like, oh look, mommy, there's a bear over there, and it's made out of cardboard, whatever. And that's all it is. It doesn't have to be perfect, and maybe the imperfect ones will look cuter as well because they're like special and different. You know, so I'm just going to draw the legs here, and it's going to look wonky. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, yeah, you can kind of see the outline of the head there. That's what I'm going to be cutting out, and then we'll go ahead and color it in on the other side. As you can see, the very basic standard thing, like you got your ears over here, then the head sorta, got an arm down here, and then a couple of feet. And we're going to start drawing stuff on there later, but first we're going to grab our scissors, and if you need an adult assistance, make sure to go ahead and ask them to come over. And we're just going to cut out this thing. So now we're crafting with Choco. That's basically what this is right now. Hopefully somebody will see it. And if not, it's also a sign of solidarity with the kids in the neighborhood. Here we go. Here's the shape. And here's the other side that we're going to be working on. So next, I want to outline the bear itself and then give like the different shapes an outline with this same marker. This is not a permanent marker, but this side is a little rougher, so I'm hoping that it will actually show up. I'll just quickly do an edge so you can see what I mean. So yes, because there was like a person that lives downstairs from me who regularly sends me messages because they are like not too healthy and they're always looking for somebody to help them out with stuff, and that in itself is fine, you know, if you need help, ask around, etc. But they tend to get a little bit demanding, I want to say, and they were like, oh, do you have a teddy bear for me so I can put it in the window? And I said, no, I don't have one right now because I've got my own teddy bear already sitting in the window. And the first thing they said before they even looked was like, oh, nobody's going to see that, as though they had like this idea that it had to go to their window, the bear that is, because nobody was going to see it up there, and therefore she should just have it like entitled to my bear somehow. And I'm like, nope, because that's my bear, and if I want to put it in the window, and maybe no kid will see that, but that's my choice to make. And it's, like I said, like a sign of solidarity with the whole situation, of course. Even if the kids don't see it, other people probably will see it, the people in the neighborhood themselves, and they'll see that I am at the very least thinking about everybody who's sitting at home with their kids, and hoping that they'll have a good time with it, and I'm hoping that they'll enjoy the bear as well. Look, here we go. I'm going to try to put that a little closer so you can see that I put like a little line here, like that. That's the inside here, and I'm also outlining the outside so that it stands out a little bit more. Maybe if you have like a window that's far away from people, you can make it the line a little thicker, so that it's a little easier to see the contrast between the window and the bear. Now we're going to have to move on to the actual bear itself, the body bear. You can like do whatever we want there. I'm going to give him a slight body here, and we're going to put like a little paw on this side. I said it doesn't have to look perfect, but you're putting effort into basically being one with the neighborhood and the situation. And it's also just something to take your mind off of things. Here we go. Look, see? Got like one paw that's kind of behind him, like it's turning a little bit, and then the other one's sitting in front, but it's kind of sideways as well. You can see part of the paw. Now we're going to move on to the legs, which are usually kind of sitting together. If they're like sitting like forward with their feet, then you're not going to see the legs so much, and that's kind of what I'm going to try to simulate here. So I'm going to put like the paw here. That'll also give you something to do with your kids if you wanted to like craft with them. You try making bears. There. See that? Looks a little strange, but that's okay. It's my bear, and I'll draw it as I want to. We're going to put this one over here, like that. You can't see it, but I've just given it a little stomach area. Now, if you have like craft paper, you could definitely use that to put like patches on here. Let's see, I brought some craft paper. Just some fun designs maybe here, like you got some different designs, but there's more designs in here, not just this one. Something that's not too crazy, maybe. What about, or just some red, I guess you could use some red too. Oh, something just fell out. This one's got lines on it, can you see that? Nope, because of the lighting, but there's lines on it somewhere. Okay, well the idea being that you could give him some interesting looking pads instead of just these white things, and of course if you don't have that, you can also just color it in. I'm going to give him a nose, because the nose knows. Just a regular standard black nose. And a little mouth. With a smile, there we go. We got a little face there almost. The eyes are still supposed to come up though. I'll just draw those in as well. So you can use this to craft with your kids, and you can use this to make the neighborhood kids feel like they're not alone and actually have something to do, because you can't be homeschooling all day long, and if they can't play outside, that's going to be annoying. I used to play outside a lot as a kid, so I know how that feels to not be able to go anywhere. Look, see, I've got given a little button eye right there. We're going to do the same on the other side. Try to, at least. There. Ta-da! There they are. So now we can color in the bear if you wanted to. And I'm going to leave this one white so it doesn't take 3 hours to color it in. I am going to make the pads a different color. I used to have an inverted bear myself, like a white bear with brown things. Looking at all the colors I have, these are not quite the colors I would want. I think I'll grab something. I'm gonna do orange for the pads and the ears. Let's see if this color is okay for that. We'll see. I'll just do the paws first. It's not a super bright orange. This might work actually. Alright, there we go. He's got some orange feet. Because why not? And I want to give his face a color. I think I have a pink for the ears. Yeah, let's see if this is like a super bright pink or what. I hope it's going to be equally vague like the orange was, because it's the same set. Okay, that's the ears done right there. I think I'll give him a little mouth here. Just have him open. There. He's got a little mouth open like, oh, right now, so that's good. Now I was thinking, I used to have like Beanie Babies. I'm pretty sure I still have some. They usually have interesting little patterns on them. So I'm thinking we could do the same with this one, because he currently doesn't have a lot going on right now. I'm thinking I'm going to make him like a good luck bear. And to do that, I'm going to draw like little clovers all over him, or try to. And I'm going to make this stomach area green, so it's going to be fun to make. I think it's going to look nice, so I'm going to do that real quick. What else was I thinking about? This is a dark one. So yeah, I usually, I've drawn a lot for kids actually. Every once in a while, I've drawn like this book of, I wouldn't say poems, more like verses, I guess, like kids' poems, stuff like that. It was a coloring book. Didn't actually publish it, but I had like a bunch of drawings made up, and I made like a rhyme per drawing. And the idea was that they would like read the rhyme, get like their reading level up, their reading skill, and then also color in the pictures afterwards or before, whatever they like. It's like a double thing, like they can practice their reading and they can go ahead and do some drawing or coloring, whichever they like. And so I drew a lot of like Disney-esque, I would say, not all of them, drawings that for kids would enjoy. And hopefully I'll have that published someday. I don't know. Currently, of course, everything's kind of at standstill. I haven't actually pursued it for a while. I sent it off to, I think, 2 or 3 different publishers at the time. And at the time I still had everything printed out, because it's all on paper and everything. Had to scan it, print it, send it out. And I think one of them replied to me, and the others just kind of never even got back to me about it. And they said, the one that did reply, they said like, oh well, we've already spent our budget or for a kids book this year. Try again next time, I guess. But I wasn't going to do that, because I was tired of printing. It is like 20 plus pages, 40 actually, because it's like back and front. So to print and send that each time was a bit expensive, and I actually haven't done anything with it since. Maybe I'll do it again someday when the time is right. Okay, so I kind of colored this in a little quickly, so you can see like it's looking a little bit spirally. That's okay though. Now I'm gonna put like little clovers all over him, and a clover very simply is 4 little ball things that I'm gonna put together. I'm just gonna put one on his forehead, and then I'm gonna put like a little stem that sticks out. So I'm just gonna quickly color that in. And there, you could outline it as well. Can you see that? I'm gonna put like these little guys all over the place. So it's just 4 little like ball things with a little stick coming out of it, and then I'm going to also like line it in the middle so it actually looks a bit like there's leaves. I'm going to outline it as well so it looks even more detailed. And meanwhile, I was also thinking this week about all the people that are currently out of work because they have jobs where they can't go to work right now. What are they gonna do? Well, I'm pretty sure there are quite a few of those people out there right now. And I was thinking, like for instance, I saw somebody in the comment section who was a hairdresser, hairstylist. And I was thinking, why couldn't they start like an online consulting business? Like, it's not gonna be like a super big business, but I'm thinking like they could take calls from people virtually and then just go ahead and look at their hair situation and advise something like, oh, maybe you want to try this product or try that product or stop using X, Y, or Z, and maybe do something like that. And there could probably be other things that people could do to try and supplement their income. If you're reasonably good at writing, reading, spell checking, that sort of thing, you go on like a freelancer.com or Fiverr for commission type work. Pretty sure you could do something. Let's draw a little one over here. There's always somebody who is not going to be able to transfer what they can do to an online work situation. I was thinking though, in the future, if we have more of this, like say that this is going to be a recurring thing every year now, that they just can't go to work for a couple of months. Maybe there will be businesses who want to still offer like services to customers, like in location. Like if you were, I say like a lot, if you were somebody who is at a reception desk, maybe they could start virtual receptions or something, like they would have somebody sitting there at home in front of a camera like me, and then somebody walks into a business and they see this person sitting there behind the camera, so to speak, on the screen, and they can interact with them and give them information, tell them what floor they need to be for a business X, Y, Z, that type of thing. Whatever you can do online, try that, because it's probably going to occur more often than just this one time, I would think. Because if it's going to be like the flu, in that sense, it's going to probably return every once in a while, and we're going to be stuck in this type of half quarantine situation more often, and that means we have to adjust what we do and how we do it. And there it is. Okay, so now I've drawn a few blank ones all over the bear, as you can see. Now I'm going to color them back in with this green one, and then we'll see what that looks like. I'm actually making a video on like ideas of what you could be doing, and I'm thinking about narrating that before I release it. And I've also started a Discord server where people could come online and talk about what their potential options are, what their situation is, and people could brainstorm with them what they could do. And that's sort of like a thing. Like in the video, I'm only suggesting a few things like I just said, like maybe try some commission work, try doing voiceovers for people on Fiverr or something that you could do. There's probably something you can do. And also that this is a good time to work on some skills. If you don't have skills that you think are marketable online, try to pick some up on like a Khan Academy or something like that, or Skillshare or any of these places. And of course there's not going to be a perfect situation or perfect suggestion for everybody who's going to watch the video, and that's why I wanted to start this Discord server. Still working on that. That's basically the main thing that's postponing the video, because I can have it narrated. I already have like the video itself kind of ready to go, but I need to have that ready before I release it to the general public. And in the video I also refer to this Discord server where people could go on and talk about these types of things. And so I need to have that ready before I release it. Okay, so here is the Good Luck Bear. As you can see, it's looking kind of cheerful now. You could put this in your window and people will probably see that from a distance, and even if they don't know what it is, they're like, oh, this is probably something to do with the bear hunt, and they'll be able to go ahead and mark that off on whatever they got. So hope you enjoyed this video. I'm probably gonna have to cut a lot of it out as I'm sitting here drawing and cutting things and coloring things and mumbling to myself. But hope you're going to enjoy making these yourself, and potentially with your kids if you have kids. And if you don't have kids, you can make them anyway, because I don't have kids and I enjoy doing crafting things anyway. Gives you something to do, gives your neighborhood kids something to look for in people's windows. And I hope to see you next week. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave a comment and a like. And thanks for watching, and bye bye for now.